All right, what's going on, Burnouts? Episode number 10. Here with my host, Logan Hammer. It's your other host, Jordan, clocking in here. Uh, we got a race over in Dover that we need to discuss. Not a bad race by any means. Actually, a pretty entertaining race. It's a little unfortunate that it got pushed to Monday just
Yeah.
because Logan and I have full-time jobs, which we have to work. Um, I don't want to speak for my host, Logan, um, but I believe he was able to catch most of it. I was able to catch bits and pieces because I got a job. You
Yeah.
gotta pay the bills. It's one of those things. But Logan, how about you tell the burnouts how your Monday went?
Yeah, hopefully my employer isn't listening, but I was able to watch the entire race and it was kick ass. I probably would have been able to probably was able to watch more of the race on Monday compared to if it was on Sunday. So that was really cool. I mean, I was just like busy working and had it in my AirPods and then yeah, I mean, I had the screen up and was watching it and yeah, no, it was awesome. However, I watched basically all of Dover, but I did not watch any. I'll be completely honest, any of F1. Looked at some of the highlights and stuff like that, and we'll go into discussion with that. But yeah, no, Dover was a good race. Martin Truex Jr. won, so I don't know if you guys know, but I'm a huge Martin Truex Jr. fan. He's basically like the first driver I really got into when I started watching NASCAR, kind of between him and I'd say probably Kyle Busch. And yeah, I never saw him win a race. There's definitely some close calls. I would always say, this is going to be the day that Martin wins, but it happened to be um, on Monday. Mondays are for Martin, and it was as good as I imagined it to be. Um, I was telling Jordan, next one I'm looking forward to is just a bubble win, like an actual bubble win, because he won in the playoffs, but that didn't really count for me. So, and then the one before, but that rain delay and stuff. So, all I need to
He
do is
back,
see a bubble win, and I could die peacefully.
yeah, he backed into that win that we saw, but uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of want to just take a step back. I feel like last year we watched Truex come oh so close so many
Mhm.
times.
Yep.
And even this year we kind of got teased in the preseason
Yeah.
at the Clash, which of course, he won, but it's
Yeah.
preseason. It's
Yeah.
it's
That
gonna
one was. It got me pumped. Do not get me wrong. It still got me pumped, but it was just like this isn't it.
exactly. So it was nice. I like Truex. I think you and I have spoken on it before.
Yeah.
Seems like the absolute nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
There's not an interview, there's not a instance in my mind that I can think of.
Do
Keep
you
in
know what
mind,
I will say? One thing I would add. I saw him have a little venom in his words with his crew chief when they were driving this week. Because
really,
he's the most monotone, just playing guy.
even
Remember
keel.
him? I'm pretty sure his. God, I don't want to make any more mistakes. I really don't after last week. But I know his crew chief. I believe his last name is Little. I want to say Jamie Little, but I just really don't want to go into that hole. But
Yep,
they were
all good,
kind of
all good.
talking. Was it Jamie Little? Are you looking it up?
No, no, I said all good. You can keep going.
Okay, God, I want to say his last name's Little, but yeah, they kind of have an interesting relationship where they'll talk to each other, kind of give each other shit, but at the end they kind of come back and yeah, Martin had a little bit of venom in his words when he was talking. It was kind of funny hearing him like speak like that because like I don't know, after every interview and stuff, he just seems like the most monotone, plain guy, and that was not the case. So it was kind of cool, but yeah, just an
Um,
awesome win. I love it. What's up?
you were close. Almost so close that I'm not even going to say anything about it.
Yeah,
His name is not. What'd you say originally?
Jamie
Jamie
Little.
Little.
That doesn't even sound
His
like a
name his name is James Small.
guy.
You could not have been more on the
Oh
money.
my
That is
god.
That's
Okay, that was an
awesome.
unexpected joke that I did not think I needed for this Monday
Oh,
night.
that's
That's pretty fucking funny.
yeah. So James Small caught the first stray of the podcast.
Well, you know what's funny is I'll never forget that name.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
like,
awesome.
Jordan, please enlighten me. Name one other crew chief that you know off the top of your head.
I I couldn't.
No, that's
I
not
can't.
like, it's not a thing, you know?
It's not something that you and I know yet because at least speaking for myself, I am still NASCAR, like we've said 1,000 times, we're not experts.
Nope.
There's so much to learn within the sport that that's on the bottom of the docket, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
do. It's not the most unimportant thing, but it's kind of like
Damn important, actually, but it's just like,
exactly. I
there's so many drivers, and stuff, and
yes,
everyone has one, and so
yep,
it's like they kind of do the back end, like we see
yep,
the front of house with the drivers and
yep,
stuff, and even like the pit crew and stuff. I don't know one pit crew's name, and I really don't even think probably the experts know really
yeah,
any pit crew names. But
yeah. No, I agree
that's
completely.
really fun though.
Um, Yeah, that was unexpected. I literally did a quick Google search on my own here and saw that and just
So
had
what
to
is it?
mention it.
James Little?
James Small.
James Small.
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, James Small got the first stray of the podcast this week.
Exactly. And I think it's kind of funny too, because towards the end of the race, the way Truex got the win was literally his pit crew
Yeah,
strategy. I
yeah.
know you probably saw that more than anyone because
Uh,
I was glancing and I was working, truth be told, so I couldn't
yeah.
watch hardly any of it. But at the same time, when I'd glance up and I could see what I could see, I was like, okay, he went from being kind of middle of the pack until last, I want to say like 50 laps. I noticed he was in front, and then he ended up clearly winning the race. So didn't I doubt he relinquished it up until that
Well,
point, but
I want to make a comment about that actually. I'm glad that we're bringing this up because this was a pivotal point in this race was so it was I don't know, probably like 5 laps left in the race, and everyone needed to do a pit.
yep,
And Martin Truex Jr. and James Small, if I'm not mistaken, that's his name, they made
yep,
the decision to only get 2 tires. So they
yep.
got they pitted in about like 5.8 seconds. And then Chastain, who was clearly the person, well,
It
it was
was
actually Chastain and Blaney who were very close with each
honest,
other.
yep,
I don't know what Blaney did, but I know Chastain got 4 tires. And
yep.
so it was just a big risk, total gamble, kind of like this Las Vegas situation earlier this year. But they total gambled on it, and I know Martin Truex Jr. Those last few laps he was fighting those two wheels, and because Chastain had four, he had all new wheels and stuff. But it ended up paying out because Chastain's pit was about 9.8 seconds, and just that difference right there is enough to make a win. So just a fantastic race. Oh man, I felt so good after seeing that. Like my expectations, I don't know about you, but my expectations were a little bit low kind of after it got canceled on Sunday. And it's like, okay, Monday. But it looks like the crowd showed up and the race overall was pretty good, I would say. So I enjoyed myself, yeah.
For a Monday race at starting, I don't know what time it was
Started at
over there.
wait,
9 here, but like 12 probably, like noon
no,
over
it was
there.
very early. I think it started at like 9 or 10 here.
But I'm talking, I know here it started at 9 where we're
Oh
at,
yeah,
but
for them, yeah,
over,
it's probably like noon. Yeah,
yeah. So the fact that it started at noon over there on a Monday, that the track was that full, like don't get
yeah,
me wrong, it was not like, it wasn't crazy full. I looked up, I did peep the stands and it looked pretty average, I would say. But for a Monday at noon, that's pretty
yeah.
damn good, Like, what do you expect? Like, if you and I would have got tickets, this is of course assuming it's in Phoenix, but if we would have got tickets for a Sunday and it got pushed to Monday, I would be saying, yeah, I'm selling my tickets or I'm not going because I we got
I was
work.
gonna say, Yeah, like hypothetically, if it was in
Yeah,
another state, dude, our flight would have been on Monday. We would have been
yeah,
gone.
yeah,
So
exactly. So it's
it's
probably
just
all the
Phoenix, for example, we really don't have to worry about that because they do
ever.
a spring race in Phoenix, and it's not typically raining in the spring. Now, if they
Yeah,
had a race in Phoenix during the summer, you can definitely get hit with the monsoons, but we don't.
could.
So then the following race is in November, and that's like, I know that's why they do it in Phoenix during that time because other parts of the country, you're not doing it in Pennsylvania in November, and stuff like
Yep.
Phoenix in November is literally beautiful. It's beautiful. You could walk around in a t-shirt and be
Yeah.
fine. So
Yeah, we've had this discussion, I believe, on the pod that Phoenix is one of the best weather states that you can ask for in terms of a NASCAR race,
not
in
the
my
best track.
opinion. No, 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 never said the best track by any means. But yeah, one of the best weather states you can ask for. And I
Yeah,
guess really quick too. I just want to pivot. It would behoove me not to mention, I'm in the bush. M&M's, shirt throwback, little throwback for him on a Monday, not a big deal. Um,
it's funny
what
actually.
ha
Before we started recording this, sorry, I'll just add this. But before we started recording this, I'm like, wait a second. You're in a Kyle Busch shirt, and I'm in a Kevin Harvick shirt. And it's kind of funny
Makes
because
sense.
I think before like Kyle Busch more, and then you obviously before Stuart Haasboy like Kevin Harvick. So it's kind of like, what are we doing in each other's shirts?
Yeah, yeah, it was one of those things where I was browsing eBay and I saw a vintage Kyle Busch shirt and I just took full advantage. I pulled the trigger,
I don't blame
I
you
couldn't,
at all.
I couldn't not. We might have to work out a little trade potentially down the line because I'm really liking that Kevin Harvick shirt.
Dude,
Truth be told,
it's like when we were at Phoenix, bro, I saw this shirt. I'm like,
yeah.
I want that. I really want that. Did not get it, but my mother-in-law got me a Kyle Larson jacket. Bless her heart. I love her, but I don't like Kyle Larson. So whole process with Fanatics, blah blah blah. I got my Bush Light hat, which I made a point not to wear this week because I've worn it too much and I didn't want to overkill it. So I held off on that. Then this one just came in. So it's been like since Christmas, a whole process of turning the Larson into the Bush Light hat that it literally pains me not to have on my head right now. And then my Kevin Harvick long sleeve. Sorry, little pivot right there.
Oh no, it's all good. A complete pivot. In fact, I wasn't gonna talk too much about our apparel, even though I'm glad we did. What I was gonna mention is Kyle Busch and his race uh, seemed to struggle quite a bit. I did notice at the beginning of the race he had a speeding penalty, which I
Mm-hmm. Yep,
hate speeding penalties. Good Lord, those are the worst.
is what it
It could
is.
just completely derail a guy's entire day. We saw that happen with Ryan Preece last week.
Also,
Um,
see people bounce back from those a lot too.
well, I mean, you can bounce back, but it's like one of those things where it's like it just ruins it. It's like it's a complete unneeded. It's like you get caught in the big one.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do? It happens. It's racing,
yeah.
but you commit a speeding penalty. Like I feel like that's just such like a rookie move, which obviously drivers do it all the time, but. Yeah, I saw the Bush kind of had a pretty mediocre day by his standards, had the speeding penalty, suffered some front end damage as well. If I remember correctly, I think he still finished like 21, 21st, 22nd.
Dude, spot
Uh,
on. 21. Wow.
yeah, okay, cool, cool.
Yo, nice.
That's what I thought. So, yeah, it was just I don't know. I wanted to bring this out obviously because last week he got the dub. And I was like, you know what? If you can't wear it after a win, when can you really wear it?
Yeah, no
It's like,
kidding, right?
come on now. Um,
Um, I just thought of something off the fly, and I think we're gonna do this weekly. There's gonna be a new section of our podcast, but we're gonna do a Todd Gilliland check
oh God,
just to see
yeah.
where he finishes every week.
What did he
Dude,
finish?
don't end up getting Todd Gilliland on the pod. He's gonna hate us too. He's gonna tell both of us,
Oh,
shut the fuck up to both of
a-
us, first of all.
as he
But
should,
oh yeah, he's been catching strays since a few
left
episodes
and right.
ago, and we haven't stopped. But yeah, he ended up P25. But I'm definitely gonna keep an eye out on that guy.
Ass.
And then while we're talking about drivers, I wanted to mention something. And then I do have an announcement too. But one thing that I'm who I lost faith in, and this is sacrilegious religious wearing this shirt, not Kevin Harvick, don't get me wrong, is Chase Briscoe.
Oh, come on.
Dude,
Come on. Don't
he's frustrating me a lot this
Logan.
year. Because I took him on my darts and duds thing and stuff, and he did shit for me. What did he get? I don't even see him on here. Oh, excuse me, P30. I'm
Logan.
fed up with this guy. This okay, but I will add it. There's another one too, because I have put Chase Briscoe on a few of my selections, and this dude fucking sucks week in and week out when I take his selection. He's
Okay.
getting a big straight for me. The other one who I had big faith in, who I've chosen multiple times this year, is Austin Cindric. And he has not been doing it for me at all. Every time I put him in, he makes a mockery of me. He got P26 today. So I don't know. I was just starting to get boiling pissed watching this, just seeing them, just like, oh, what the fuck is Briscoe doing? What the fuck is he doing? And he ends up there. I know that's like your guy or whatever, but like, dude, send him back
Well,
to Xfinity.
okay. Well, first off, that is idiotic thing to say. Saying a guy, sending a talent like Chase Briscoe back to Xfinity. I mean, I know we're a next gen podcast, but you're really showing your true colors here as far as a
I'm saying
novice NASCAR
take
fan.
Josh Berry or something, and
Okay.
I don't know, send
Well,
that boy
can I
back.
can I defend? Am I able to defend Briscoe's honor since
Sorry, I meant
you're
my increase, but yes, go ahead. Yes.
okay? Okay. First off, Briscoe had, if I'm not mistaken, three races in a row with top five finishes. Um, it was the last three. It was either top five or top 10 at a very minimum. I want to say top five though, so don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty confident. Also, I don't know if you saw, but he broke his finger
I want.
completely.
I know. I was
He
like, I swear to God, if he mentions this,
he's
I
been
want.
driving with a Okay, but Logan, what do you do in a NASCAR? What is the something that you're doing the entire time and
I
you're
don't
going
know why, but I don't give
that's
a shit.
it
I
that's a
don't
that's a
give a
big big
shit.
okay, but that's the biggest thing you can ask for in terms of a
Oh,
NASCAR driver is his hands. It's not like he broke a rib or he broke a his fucking
bro, I'd be
like
doing
I don't
manual
know.
labor at my job, and if I had a broken finger, I could do well. I could perform well. Yes, I know he's an NASCAR driver or whatever. I don't give a shit, bro. That's like turf toe in the NFL. I don't care.
Logan, you are sounding like an
I just
idiot.
don't care. I'm sorry. He has a broken pinky. People
Okay,
go to work
okay.
all the time without one. Like what? Like,
Okay, okay. How about this? You may
huh?
not care. I agree. I'm not saying yeah, he's a NASCAR driver. He gets paid tons of money. He should go out there and drive regardless. But are you actually going to say that having a broken finger for
No,
a NASCAR
no.
driver would not affect performance?
I'm not arrogant. I'm not arrogant at all. No,
You
I
you
will
use
completely agree that yes, that can affect. But I'm pretty sure. I call me wrong. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but the recovery rate for a broken finger, bro, you put a little fucking stint on it and you're good. Like, and what, a few weeks? Like, I
Logan.
don't
You
know,
just
bro. I just don't want to. I don't want to hear that. You know?
okay. Well, first off, Logan, you just said you're not arrogant when describing something that arrogant had no no reason to be said.
Ignorant,
There
ignorant.
you, there you go. Yeah, you sound fucking
Paying
ignorant.
for Apple Music.
But long story short, I don't know, dude. I think you're killing me because that is
I
a
don't know.
bold
I,
take. That's
I, I
a
felt like if I didn't say something on this podcast about my dissatisfaction for those two drivers, obviously you're defending Briscoe because you're a little SHR boy or whatever, but
okay.
I didn't hear you. You're not really backing up Austin Cindric that much. But I'm
And,
just fed up, bro. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just my bad luck, but I have chose these guys back and back,
okay.
especially Cindric. Briscoe, I'll give him a little bit, or whatever. But I've chose Cindric multiple times because I have faith in this dude. And watch, he's gonna win next week, of course, and I'll look like the biggest idiot. But no, I'm just getting sick of them. So I
Okay.
don't know.
Logan.
I'm off my soapbox.
Okay, well, what I'll just say then, just to kind of wrap up this, because I that's a wild take that you're going this route on this pod. That's like saying a soccer player who breaks his pinky toe. That's not important. Yeah, it's just a pinky toe in the grand scheme of things, but he needs his feet like you wouldn't believe. A NASCAR driver needs his hands. Like you're trying to compare it to you
Okay,
working.
what finger is it that he broke, too, by the way?
I honestly I don't know the exact
Would slightly diminish the credibility if it's his pinky. Does it?
potentially
Like between the
potentially.
two, doesn't it kind of? I don't know if it is or not, but like, I
Let
don't
me,
know, bro.
I'm gonna do a
Just do it. Yeah.
quick Google search. Oh, it's his middle finger. Nice. That's huge. That's a huge.
That's a pretty
That's
big one. It's pretty
that's a
central.
bit outside of the thumb. That's probably the worst one to break, in my opinion. Um,
I don't
so
know.
that's
I feel like it's different from like obviously a quarterback, okay,
Logan.
basketball player and stuff like that. I could still grip a steering wheel with a broken finger.
Yeah, because you're going 45 down Elliott Road, or you're going 65 down the 202.
Ooh,
You're
are
not.
you
You're not.
doxing me right now? Chill with that.
No, you know what I mean, though. It's a street isn't a dox you. Oh, dude. You know what I mean, though. It's like a guy who's driving 200 miles an hour is not gonna like. I don't know. I don't know.
All right,
Okay, I guess we'll have.
let's just say we agree to disagree. And
Okay,
Briscoe and
yeah.
Cinder both hit us straight this week. You know what? While we're at it, do you want to throw any shade at any drivers right now? Because those are the two
No,
that I'm not feeling good about.
no. It comes organically for me. But what I will say, just really quick,
Is it fuck
um,
Todd Gilligan still, or what?
no. Oh yeah. It's always fuck Todd Gilliland.
Yeah,
First things first, though, just because you mentioned him, Austin Cindric is
he's
currently
been.
ninth. He's 19th in the driver's standings, and
Yeah,
Chase Briscoe is 16th. And I think we can both agree that Briscoe is not having a great year. But the fact that if the playoffs started today, he would still be in, I mean, not the worst. Not the worst. So that's neither here nor
I
there,
kind of
though.
talked my talk right there. I mean, low key, like 19th and the 16th. Like,
I
am I
mean,
wrong?
Austin Cindric, I'm not super stoked about Cindric, but uh, Briscoe, for the start of the year he's having and also the issues he's having medically, 16th, I'll take it.
No way,
Um,
no way Briscoe's doing 16th and stuff if he's in like the top five, like 5 weeks in a row. He'd be
I
way
didn't say
above.
five. I didn't say 5 weeks ago. I said three. And in his first two races of the year, he had DNFs. So um, DNFs are sub 30 position finish, and I'm very confident in that. Um, Either way,
Interesting.
I think it is time for the long awaited segment that our fans tend to love, and I don't know. I think Big J might have hit something pretty spectacular this week. Do you want to maybe start us off there and say what you say your darts and duds for the week?
I mean, I could start it off, but what's the point, you know?
Yeah, yeah, you're
And what's by
absolutely
the
right.
way, too, I'm just going to tell you this over the podcast, Jordan. I have told you multiple times. I said, when you do your darts and duds, you got to quote the tweet and go through the whole thing and stuff. This week you did it with Martin Truex Jr. Yeah, okay, because you won or whatever. But you got to do that consistently. The fans are getting upset. I'm getting some feedback from them. They're saying, "Hey, why isn't Jordan doing the quote with it?" I really like when Logan does that and he talks his talk and walks his walk. So just
Well,
bringing that up.
I
That's what the fans gave me the feedback about.
it's really weird because from the fans that I talked to, they
Mm.
said they don't mind and they actually like that I don't do it. So any fans that have an issue with me can quite frankly,
Professional.
they can kiss my ass if I'm being completely honest.
Like,
Because
it's just I don't know. I don't know. I've been telling you. I said,
okay,
"Hey, Jordan, hey, do you mind doing that little quote tweet for me?" And you never do.
and what
But
do you, and what do you get met with? You get met with crickets. I don't
yeah,
even
it's
respond. I
ridiculous.
say I say I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
Um, But
Clearly.
I digress. This
Okay.
week, Big J decided to hit, and yeah, no need to talk about anything else for my picks because I hit the big one. I hit the dark horse.
Jordan
I
got the
locked
dark
in.
horse.
I locked in Truex Jr. Let's see here really quick. How many races has there been this year? Because I can do an
Probably
easy
10,
math.
because we're episode 10, right?
Just let's
Are
see
we
really
leaving?
quick. Regular season that is. So one, two, three. Wait. I might be. Hold up. Go on. You can say your picks.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
up.
I'll just get mine out of the way. I did not throw any darts particularly, but they were close. I had Denny Hamlin hit me at a P5, not bad. Chastain P2, very close. Um, Dipshit Chase Briscoe at P30. Yep, said it. Manufacturer, I took Chevy. They had a P2 finish, so I can't really complain about that. And honestly, manufacturer darts, you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting them. Like, not really that big of a deal, but I mean, I didn't, so it is what it is. And then my dark horse, which I have done multiple times, Austin Cindric, P26. So I put little SOS emojis by Briscoe and Cindric, and I'm gonna have to look back at my playoff picture and see if I put them in there. I really hope not. I guarantee I didn't put Briscoe in, but yeah, that's mine.
Wow. Well, hey, maybe next week. There's always next week. To maybe hit a dark horse, hit a lock, do something. I don't know. But yeah. So it felt good this week to get that dark horse. Hopefully we can follow it
Talk
up
about your
next
other
week.
picks. I didn't see any. What was your other picks?
Let me see. I'll pull up the where they finished at.
If you
And
had a quote tweet, it'd be a lot easier to just read it.
well, first off, does it even matter? Because I mean, I got the dark horse. I don't think.
Okay, one
I,
thing before George goes on that really pisses me off is I texted him like, dude, yeah, like Martin Truex Jr. won is my first time seeing him win. Like, definitely gonna buy a die cast of it. And then this asshole responds and says, "Oh yeah, every time you look at it, you could see the first dark horse win." And I'm not gonna lie, now I honestly don't even want to buy it.
because
I know it's
hey.
I will hear his voice through that text message when I look at that diecast. I'll be like, that motherfucker, dude. Like,
No,
I don't
you
know.
you don't need to hear my voice through the text message. Every time I see it, I'll just go, "Oh, hey, there's my dark horse pick," and yeah,
Oh,
we'll just
yeah.
get a
The
good
whole
laugh out
thing
of it.
is ruined. And that really that really just like, oh, that
Was he
pisses me
was he in a Bass Pro Shop scheme as well? I assume because
off. Yeah, he doesn't stray away much from Bass Pro Shop. I've seen a few with like, Sirius XM and then Avid Health, but 9 times out of 10, Martin Truex Jr. he holds it down with the Bass Pro Shop. One thing I will mention too is I've noticed some drivers that have when you think of Denny Hamlin, who do you think of?
you're talking about Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, who do you think of? Like
Obviously,
honestly,
you think of the 11 first and foremost, but then you also think of FedEx.
FedEx.
Yeah,
There has been a lot of times this year so far where I have not seen him in the FedEx. It's in some weird
yeah.
health
Bro,
company stuff
no,
like that. Like
he was also in that weird ass, like it was like a pharmaceutical medicine. I hate when drivers are in
yes,
those. And it's
yeah,
like,
like a medical
and
one.
it,
Yeah,
I hate that.
and I thought it was funny too that Kyle Busch won last week. What was that, Darlington or right?
Yes, last week.
Okay. Yeah, dude, he won. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to this company. But he won in a McLaren's custom grills. The fuck? That's why I put up that tweet on like, what was
Yeah.
it like? Cheddars and three chi and stuff. Like seeing Kyle Busch win
Oh,
in a McLaren custom grill sponsor. Like what?
yeah. And Logan,
No,
by the way, Kyle Busch last week he won Talladega.
Dega. Sorry, getting it mixed up. What?
I agreed with you though. You said Darlington. I was like, yeah, he won Darlington. And then I was like,
Uh,
wait. I went and looked, and I was like, that doesn't seem right,
I mean,
dude.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a walking encyclopedia. I'm not.
No, not at all. I wouldn't expect you to be. We all make mistakes.
I don't even think
Really
we've
quick,
raced at Darlington yet this year.
really quick too, Logan, just because we are getting a little bit long in the tooth here. I think
Hmm.
you said you had an announcement to make.
Yep, I do have an announcement. So my buddy Jordan made one last week on the podcast, and I said, you know what? I think it's my turn to make an announcement. This has kind of been an unspoken announcement, but I do have a new racing team that I like. Um,
Does this make number three? Would you say this
my
is kind of your
2011, Joe Gibbs Racing, and then this will be my third. However, this is a very small racing team, so not a big deal. Um, it kind of goes out of the manufacturer thing. Like I like Toyotas and stuff, and this is a Ford. But I'll just say I am an RFK fan. And for the people that don't know who drives for RFK, it's Chris Buescher and Brad Keselowski. And Brad Keselowski just got named one of the top 75 NASCAR drivers. So shout out to him. I mean, I literally have a diecast of Brad Keselowski. I think he's an excellent driver. I have both of them going into my playoff picture. I think they are very good. I love Chris Buescher too, super hands-on driver. He'd be working in the garage on his car and stuff. They just seem like great
underrated?
guys and extremely underrated. I'm well, Brad Keselowski is, and he's been in the game for a while and stuff. But Chris Buescher's underrated, and they're both good drivers, and I've always liked them both. So I'm like, why don't I just give the announcement to the Burnouts that I'm an RFK fan? And
It makes
another
total
slight
sense.
announcement I will make too is, and I'm glad we're doing this podcast on a Monday because Legacy Motorsports is going to be switching their manufacturer over to Toyota. So if anyone doesn't know who that is Noah Gragson and Eric Jones, and technically as of right now, Jimmy Johnson. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I like Noah Gragson, so yeah. So that's
Yeah.
my announcement. Do you have any comments you want to make? Any smart
No,
ass
no.
remarks or
No, none at all. I just wanted you to get your announcement out of the way, and I kind of want to follow it up with. I know I sent a few shots Keselowski's way over the past couple weeks, but I'm by no means a Brad fan, but I respect greatness.
oh,
And
you
Brad
yeah,
Keselowski, you got to respect the guy. He's consistent as all get out. Um, Am I his biggest fan? No, I'm not a RFK fan. I'm not a Brad Keselowski fan, but my good friend Logan here is one of the biggest Brad fans I literally met. So,
yeah.
um,
So
gotta respect the guy.
he's
Yeah,
been consistently very good this year too. I was just looking.
absolutely.
He's P5 last week and this week P8.
Yeah,
Come
he's
on.
very
Chris
consistent.
Buescher was right behind him at P9 as well too.
Since you started mentioning him, I've been kind of keeping, of course, a closer eye out when
Yeah.
I see him on the leaderboards, and he is always up there, um, extremely consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't ask for much more, in my opinion.
Really can't.
And by the way, too, what I meant when I said underrated, obviously Brad Keselowski isn't underrated in terms of, NASCAR fans or uh, people who know about the sport
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
he's consistent, a legend. I meant he's more underrated is he doesn't get the respect nationally. Most
Yeah.
NASCAR drivers don't.
Popularity wise is what you're talking about, kind of.
But Kyle Busch, Kevin
Yeah.
Harvick, Denny
Yeah.
Hamlin, those guys, turn the needle, or
Yeah.
move the needle, should say. And Brad, my opinion, doesn't really do that, but doesn't change the fact that he's a very consistent and I would take him on Stuart Haas in a fucking
Yeah.
blink
He
of an
probably
eye.
doesn't
So
have too much time, too many years left in his career. He's
no,
older.
no,
Yeah.
not at
And
all.
I
And
mean,
I
he's
and I
literally an owner right now of his own team. So,
I was just gonna say he would never go to Stuart Haas, obviously, because yeah,
yeah.
that would make literally no sense. But
What a
um,
stupid thing to say.
yeah, what an idiot. Gosh. Uh, well, I guess it's time to move on to the F1 portion of the
Oh,
podcast, and
shit. I almost forgot
I,
about that.
I will
Take
be
it
the
away.
first to I will be the first to say it was a snoozer this week. Uh, Azerbaijan completely and was an
Pronunciation.
utter failure in my opinion. Very little overtakes. There was very little action. The street circuit was pretty disappointing. What I will
Didn't
say,
like it.
I was not a fan. No, I watched the whole race. Hour and a half. I'm not gonna miss it. Um, it was just a snooze fest. There was no real major, like I said, no real major overtakes. There's no real major Ferrari screw ups in terms of pit strategy that I noticed. Um, it was
Max
as
had a
simple.
little bit of a pit strategy mistake, but I mean, he
It
still goaded and ended up P2.
It wasn't a pit strategy mistake, I would say, based on how I watched it. And of course, I could be completely wrong. It was he pitted and he just got unlucky because a caution came out literally like 2 laps after he
Mhm.
pitted. So when he went in for the pit, obviously, I don't know the exact metrics. I believe a standard pit stop's like 30 seconds from the time you enter the pit lane all the way to exiting pit lane
Mhm.
in F1, and then with a caution out or under caution, I believe since the cars are going much slower, you only lose like 11 seconds on average.
Mhm.
So him pitting, it was kind of a one of those things you can't really control. So yeah, that costed him big time.
From my
And then yeah,
understanding, they said it was his decision. I know the caution obviously would have helped and stuff like that, but during the time when he went to pit, they said, I mean, it's kind of hard to kind of tell or whatever, but they said that that was probably not the best time. But really doesn't matter. I mean, he was still able to come back P2. But I heard they
well,
were kind of making it try to sound like in the time of before the caution happened and stuff, they were kind of trying to make it sound like, oh, I don't know if that was the best decision and stuff. So I don't know.
well, I mean, I guess you could say that about literally any type of pit
That was
stop
the
you've
live.
ever done.
That was the live reaction that they were saying during the race. Was that so?
But do you know what I mean? Though it's like they're saying that, but then if there's no caution, who's to say that? Like
Yeah,
the caution just completely screw a wrench in everything. Uh, yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty ticky
hindsight
tack.
2020. You know?
I agree completely. But oh yeah, Checo is a street course monster. You can't ever disrespect Checo.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely thought there at the end as well. The two drivers, it was Esteban Ocon and Nico Hulkenberg, if I'm not mistaken. Neither of them pitted the entire race. I learned this live. I did not realize this, but if you do not take a minimum of one pit stop and change tires during it. So you have to change compounds, I should say. You got to go from
Yeah.
soft to hard, medium to soft, whatever the case may be. You get disqualified. So it was about lap 50 of 52, I want to say. Don't know the exact laps. Neither one of those dudes came in for a pit.
Yeah.
And they were both running 9 and 10 at the time. And I'm sitting there like, damn, there's no way. I'm like getting stoked. And then I was like, something has to be up. And then of course the announcer said something, and I like did a quick Google search. They both pitted, completely ruined their days. They were kind of hoping for a caution to come out, if that makes sense.
Were you
But
getting excited over a Hulkenberg nine position?
absolutely, I was, dude. As a Haas fan, you got to take the wins as you can get them.
That's
We weren't
poverty.
we all didn't, just start watching F1 and instantly become fans of the best team there
It's
is.
not
So.
lying. No, you know that's not the case. I just took a guess, and no one else has won this year, right? Except for Red Bull.
Let me double check you. I
I
believe you are completely correct, though, unfortunately, unless.
I don't think
Yep,
anyone.
it's been a Red Bull sweep.
That's funny. Charles
Yep.
Leclerc got itched too in the beginning. Max Verstappen take him over, and then Sergio did. Like I don't know, he was getting bullied, but I mean, still ended up
Yep.
P3. What did that bitch ass? Carlos Sainz at 5. Yeah, there's really
Uh,
not much to really say about this one. That was
yeah, this is a weak race. There's more excitement on pit road. Lap 51. I don't know if you saw any of the tweets, but the all the photographers didn't realize that Ocon and Hulkenberg didn't pit. So they
yeah.
were literally in the middle of pit road getting ready to snap pictures, and he's coming down, whatever the speed is,
Oh
60,
my gosh.
50, and they literally had to like jump out of the way because he was, trying to pit and do it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So that was one of the most exciting portions of the race. But
Uh,
yeah, that was a snooze fest for sure. So I knew there wouldn't be much to talk about for this one. But uh,
yeah.
you know what next week is?
What? NASCAR?
Miami. That'll be a
That's
cool
next
race.
week. They're not taking a 2 week off.
Well, it might be like 2 weeks off. That's a good point. But the next race that they have is in Miami. So, no, it's actually literally this week. Yep, it's on the 7th.
Sick.
Yep, that'll be a good
Oh,
race.
that's. I think that's a me come over to your place type thing.
Yeah, we'll have to figure something out. Miami is definitely one of the better. I wouldn't say it's one of the better races because obviously it's only happened. Was this the third year they've done it, or this? I think it's the second year they've done it. So don't really have
Yeah,
much historicals to compare off of. But um, yeah,
us
just wanted to.
nerdy Americans would just love seeing an American race.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, 100%. I don't know if you saw it, but one of the drivers, I believe it was literally Esteban Ocon. Funny
Hmm.
enough, been saying he's been getting a bunch of shout outs on this pod this week, but he
Yeah.
was with the RFK boys, if I'm not mistaken,
Oh yes, I
and
saw that. That was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and it's funny too. If I'm not mistaken, Pierre Gasly was trying to do a pit stop, and he literally F1 drivers are small as fuck. They
yeah.
couldn't.
He was
He
trying to. It
couldn't.
was him and Chris Busher, and he was trying to jack up his car.
Yeah, and he it
Yeah,
took him like 5 tries. It's like, of course it does. The dude probably weighs like 150 pounds. Like,
that guy's got to be
uh,
super weak. What? He can't even jack up a car.
well, I mean,
No,
I
it's
don't know.
just funny. I'm just saying, if I tried doing that, I would be struggling too.
I would probably as well, but I don't know. When you think of like, I feel like 90% of NASCAR drivers could probably do that. I would hope. Maybe not like,
Maybe not Ty Gibbs, but
yeah, maybe not Ty Gibbs, maybe not like Kyle Larson, maybe I
maybe
don't know,
not
maybe Chase,
Christopher Bell. I'm trying to think of
maybe
like the little dudes. Ross Chastain is very tiny too.
okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking out my ass. It's probably a good
Yeah.
way, good point to end the pod. But yeah, that's where we're ending it this week. If I'm not, so let me see here, really quick, really quick. Next week,
Where are
if
we
you
next week
got it,
for car? Next week we're in Kansas, baby.
Kansas. So,
Again, I said I'm not wildly thrilled about it, but I was listening to some of the commentators and they did say this is an excellent speedway. Puts on a really good thing. So we'll
I'll
see
make
what's
my,
up. I
I'll
mean,
make my own judgment.
I'm not gonna say Dover was great. I mean, I love Martin one, but I'm not gonna say it was a great race. But
It was
yeah,
serviceable.
yeah, it was good enough. So yeah, I think that's a good ending point for our podcast. Burnouts. We will be back next week on a regular scheduled Sunday. Sorry about that. Just is what it is. And yeah, peace out. We'll see you then.
And really quick too, before we end it, shoot us a listen on Apple Podcast. Shoot
Yep.
us a follow, a subscribe on YouTube. Any of the true burnouts who are listening this late into the podcast, you are the reason we do it. If you are hearing this, all however many, I won't even put a number on it. You're the
Probably so
reason we
much.
do this because it's a high number. I know that's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, just you're probably already subscribed to our YouTube and
Just tell
subscribe
a
to our
friend,
Apple.
maybe. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Really quick, we should start mentioning this at the beginning of the podcast, but I,
Yeah.
I
Probably
digress.
a
I
good idea.
digress. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All right, burnouts. You take it easy. We'll see you next week.